Someone asked this simple question on Facebook: what was overrated in Iceland? And this post got over 500 comments. So I went over each and every one of them and I compiled a list of the top 5 most overrated tourist attractions in Iceland. Number 1 was technically nothing. We're going to ignore this obvious lie and dive into the list. Number 5 was Pern Museum. So Pern is a dome built on top of these huge water tanks. You don't actually have to pay if you just want to go to the observation deck. You can just sign up for Pern Club for some very strange reason. You get a card and everything.
What a great use of plastic.
And you need to bring it with you every time you go. I'm not sure what their end goal is here, getting people who are mostly here on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to sign up for memberships just to see some views and buy overpriced ice cream. But I guess the observation deck is worth a visit. Grab a coffee, sit on that rotating floor, assuming it's working at the time you arrive, and just watch the views slowly change while you sit there and wonder why you didn't go to Hawaii. The Pern Museum itself is a different story. That's expensive and about as exciting as a small natural history museum in Iceland. It does set the bar very low and it does deliver. Number 4 was the Golden Circle. So the Golden Circle is much more than just Þingvellir, Gullfoss and Geysir. This is the Golden Circle, and this, and this, and in my humble opinion, Þingvellir is one of the most beautiful places in the world, where you can also do this. The Golden Circle is just a route you can take in a day and see much of what Iceland has to offer. It's not the best stuff, but it's not the worst either. We have been trolleying tourists along this route since at least the 1700s for a reason. And I'm not exaggerating here. I have travelers' diaries written in the 1700s where they describe this exact trip. Only back then the trip probably took several days and cost half the price. Number 3, the hot dogs. People mentioned the hot dogs being overrated. Well, that may be true. They're also possibly doing it wrong. You can get these hot dogs from all over Iceland. A common place is a service station, but those things are disgusting. Believe me, I worked in one of those service stations making hot dogs back in like 2005, and they're still making them the same way. They put a bunch of hot dogs on the grill in the morning and they sit there for ages. Some may even be hot dogs that I put on the grill. I'll give you a secret tip. If you want to avoid the queue, go to Biko. They have pretty much identical hot dogs. There's also a hot dog stand at the airport from the same franchise that has the famous hot dog stand downtown. It's on your right side just as you exit after you've had your gummies confiscated by customs. But after having tried those hot dogs twice now, I can only say that they are a very poor representation of the real thing somehow.
The mustard here isn't even the right color.
Really?
It's kind of like orangey. It's not supposed to be like that.
I'm not really sure how you screw up a hot dog, but they managed to do that just fine. Number 2 is the airplane wreck. I totally understand why hiking for hours in a literal desert of sand just to see a plane wreck with touristy stickers on it is anticlimactic. In my opinion, it's a gorgeous hike, and the site itself is kind of surreal. But that's all it is. Set your expectations very low and just enjoy the hike. But if you don't want to go see this place made famous by a Canadian guy who sings okay and spits on fans, then don't feel bad skipping it. If you are there on your own, it's a really cinematic place. Just check out this shot from another Canadian, Peter McKinnon. And Peter, if you're watching, next time you're in Iceland, come meet me instead of Kallio. I'm fun, I play guitar.
He's not watching you, moron.
And number 1 should not surprise anyone. You care to guess what it is? It's the Blue Lagoon, because of course it is. The Blue Lagoon is nice, or was nice, depending on when you're watching this. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most, and sitting in a natural pool in a beautiful environment is totally worth it. But it doesn't have to be the Blue Lagoon. There are lagoons all over Iceland. Some of them even exclusive if you just manage to find them, or if you can be bothered to hike a bit.
So we just found
A hot pot.
a hot pot, secret lagoon. Nobody can know about this. So there are some flies though.
And some of them are even free. So in the unlikely event that some of my videos are of some value to you, then feel free to buy me a coffee, link in the description. Everything you donate goes straight back into making more videos and upgrading my equipment, or to pay back taxes on previous support because I failed to disclose it on my tax returns last year. Have a great trip!